G'day YouTube, Aussie FIFA HD, and welcome back to yet another episode. G'day YouTube, Aussie FIFA HD, and welcome back to yet another FIFA 21 tutorial on the channel today. I'm helping you guys out. I'm trying to get you through the rest of FIFA 21. We're going to jump into the top 3 endgame skill moves. What works now at the end of FIFA 21. So without further ado, let's get into the intro, and then I'm going to teach you guys the top 3 endgame skill moves in FIFA 21.
Griezmann, 3 men around him to somehow find some space. Ronaldo, fantastic, opening the drive back.
He's made himself the tiniest bit of space.
Almost feels like a bit of a taunt. Didn't really go for it. Oh! The display there is absolutely ridiculous. The Elastico on the goal line. On the goal line, the finest.
We talked about Aussie FIFA. He's not here to make up the numbers.
This one had to make the top 3 endgame skill moves despite being a skill move combo, and it's still a skill move, isn't it, really? And that is the ball roll into script turn. What a skill move this is for your 5-star skill. As you ball roll away from the opponent, you then scoop turn into the space, and for me it's still one of the most overpowered skill moves that you can use in FIFA 21. And of course, I need to teach you guys. It's quite easy. All you need to do is perform a ball roll and then a fake shot, subsequently afterwards with the left analog stick pointing in the direction that you want to do the scoop turn. So you're performing the ball roll, and that's holding either side to where the player is facing, so either 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and you're briefly holding that, okay? And then what you're doing is you're performing a fake shot, and with that you're basically, pointing with the left analog stick in the direction you want to do the scoop turn, and the fake shot is performed with either shoot or cross with pass subsequently afterward. And then if it's a 5-star skiller, they should perform the ball roll after performing, the scoop turn after performing the ball roll. But without further ado, I've told you how useful this is, but we're going to jump into skill move number 2. The directional nutmeg. I mean, it just had to make it, didn't it, lads? It's just so good, isn't it, in FIFA 21? I mean, what a skill move this has been for us throughout the whole iteration of FIFA, and EA have still yet to patch it, and I can see why. I mean, it's the end of the game. Who really cares? They need a few skill moves that still work, and the directional nutmeg is still one of them, and it's quite easy to perform. You just need the L1 and R1 button, and then you're flicking with the right analog stick in a direction, okay, to where you want to actually do the directional nutmeg. But obviously, in my opinion, the best variation is the diagonal angle variation, where you're pointing diagonally, okay, with the right analog stick, and the player does more of a speed boost, okay, than anything. And I just find it seems to be still one of the most overpowered skill moves in FIFA 21. But without further ado, we're going to jump into the third and final usable skill move endgame in FIFA 21. Honestly, I'm going to have to put these 2 skill moves into one segment. I'm just going to call it the Elastico, but I'm pretty much referring to both the reverse and the regular Elastico. These 2 skill moves have been a staple throughout FIFA 21 and are still overpowered in this game. You're able to cut different angles and cut different ways. You're able to beat defenders, create space, get a different angle for a shot. You can do so many things with these variations of skill moves. The Elastico variation of skill move, and they're quite, I wouldn't say easy, but they're quite, once you get the angle down pat, it's quite easy to perform. You're just pretty much entering in either 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and then you're rotating around to 6 o'clock to where the player is facing. So for the actual Elastico, you're entering in at 3, you're then rotating around to 6, and that's clockwise. And for the reverse, you need to enter in at 9 o'clock to where the player is facing, and then you're rotating anti-clockwise around to 6 o'clock. And that variation, that movement will perform both the Elastico and the reverse Elastico, and they're just so good, and especially when you're standing still, they come off a lot quicker. EA failed to patch that, okay, earlier on in the game, and they're still overpowered, especially if you can stand still and then perform it, whether it's a fake shot stop, whether it's the stop stand still trigger, which is L1, whether it's a fake drag back, okay, where you stand still. Many different ways of doing it, and you can quickly perform either the reverse or the regular Elastico to then burst off into the space, create space, beat defenders, get shots off, whatever. They're just so overpowered, lads. That will signal the end of the episode. Let me know your opinion on what works at endgame in FIFA 21. This is my top 3 in what works in terms of skill moves endgame in FIFA 21. And as always, go and check me out on Instagram and TikTok. I'm doing tutorials over there, lads, so you don't want to miss out for the start of FIFA 22. So chuck me a follow over there. Links are in the description down below. But as always, hope you guys have a good day. I'm out. Sayonara, au revoir, adios. Got that mixed up, didn't I? And goodbye.